It's changing. Look. Yeah, look.
And they've stopped it in the corner. Enough is enough.
Welcome fight fans to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning last night's IBF 147-pound world title fight in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania between Jaron Boots Ennis and David Avanesyan. This is a fight breakdown analytics video.
The thing about Boots is he's staying in there.
We got a knockdown.
A lot to talk about regarding what took place last night in Philadelphia. We know that Jaron Ennis improved his record to 32 wins with 0 losses and 29 knockouts, continuing on his trajectory as one of the brightest rising champions in the game. Today, we could talk about the record-breaking attendance. Philadelphia showed up and showed out for their hometown son, Jaron Ennis, breaking a 46-year-old record for a fight night in Philadelphia. The place was rocking. We could also talk about Jaron Ennis, what's next, who he should be fighting, but save it to the end of the video and I'll bring up some circumstances which I'll need your help on. Right now, we're gonna go over the punch stats. We're gonna talk about the narrative of the storyline, what led to that 5th round doctor stoppage. We know that Avanesyan got dropped in the 5th, went to the corner a bit wobbly. The ref steps in during the time break and calls it off. Controversial, whatever you want to say. Some people in the blog say it was stopped too soon. Some people say it was stopped perfectly. You could see the end coming. Boots was up on all the cards. He was winning the fight entirely, doing what he wanted to do. So I want to talk about what led to that. What punch stats were equating to his success? Was it his jabs? Was it his feints, his defense, his power shots? So let's get a little bit into that. Guys, overall in the fight, Jaron Ennis lands 40% of his punches to the body, and 53% of those landed punches were power shots. We know the doctor stopped the fight in between rounds after the 5th ended, where Jaron landed 32 of 53, that's 60% of his power punches, and got the knockdown against Avanesyan. When we look at the total amount of punches on the final punch report, Jaron Ennis throws 327, landing 152 at a 47% clip. Avanesyan throws 225, landing 53 at a 24% clip. The thing about Jaron Ennis when he fights, he is there to get hit. He has great defense, and at only 27 years old, he's still learning and figuring out how to use all of his tools in his arsenal, both offensively and defensively. He is that gifted in which we could watch him dominate a fighter and still have things to talk about in terms of what he could work on. In my eyes, that's not a sign of weakness, that's a sign of his abundant strengths in which we still haven't seen yet. Now let's look at the jabs. Guys, the total jab count throughout the fight tells a significant story. Jaron throws 95, landing 28 at a 30% clip. Avanesyan throws 26, landing 6 at a 23% clip. Both guys were not gonna throw the jab to win the fight. And if I had to talk about one negative aspect of Jaron, this is what I would talk about. He only lands 26 jabs. Jaron Ennis has a gorgeous jab. So when I'm thinking about him winning by knockout all the time, as he grows and grows and the competition gets stiffer and stiffer, whether it's at 47 or 54, that jab is gonna be the key to his car. I wish he would have used it a bit more. It's a nice technical jab and it has pop on it. Literally every punch Ennis throws has power behind it, and I can only imagine what his career is gonna look like when he starts using that jab that he's gifted at. Now let's take a look at the total power shots of the fight. Guys, when we equate the total power punches, Ennis throws 232, landing 124 at a 54% clip. Avanesyan throws 199, landing 47 at a 24% clip. Guys, this was also a story of the fight. Avanesyan was there for a fight. This wasn't a story of two guys backing up. Avanesyan was punching as much as he was getting hit early on. And the interesting thing about Boots is he was taking shots. I talked about just now about I wish he would throw his jab a bit more. I wish that Boots at this stage in his career wouldn't get hit as much. He knew he was in there with a puncher, so say what you will. Did he want to prove to his naysayers that he could take a shot, that he has a chin? Well, he did just that. Right before that shot dropped Avanesyan landed one of his own, and Ennis ate it right on his chin as if nothing even happened. The power shots were obviously the tell of the story for Boots. He had more power, he threw more, he landed more. The jabs, not so much, but this wasn't a fight that he thought or he felt he would need his jab. Like I said, I'd like to see him use that a bit more later on in his career, and I want to see his defense locked up a bit more moving forward in his career. Other than that, what a spectacular performance, a homecoming. And don't get it twisted, for how talented we know Boots is, there is pressure on these fighters. He's a young man at only 27. Going home, first fight with Eddie, first fight under Matchroom, the whole place is built around you, and he showed out. So if I had to give him a score, I'd give him an A-. He doesn't get a plus from me, only because of the jab. I'm a jab guy, and the defensive bit. He got hit a bit too much, but that's not a bad thing. It is a blood sport called boxing. We must ask ourselves now, what's next for Boots? We know at 47 the champions Stanionis, Barrios, and Brian Norman Jr. Does he stay there? He said after the fight a couple different contradictory statements. He said he wants to take all the belts at 47 before he moves up, but the interviewer kind of served him on a plate, the Terrence Crawford question, and he also said, I want to bring him on as well. So you got to think, Crawford obviously is a busy man. In a few weeks, he's taking on Israel Majimov in LA on August 3rd at 54. And then from there, he's going to continue on his quest at 54, trying to become undisputed in another division. So you figure the timeline doesn't add up anytime soon. I don't see that fight happening in the next 12 months. Turkey Al-Sheikh commented after the fight and said, hey, Eddie, I want to make a fight in the near coming future between Boots and Crawford. We just don't know when that's going to be. Is it 25? Is it late 2025? Who knows? All in all, guys, how do you grade Boots' performance? Leave that answer in the comment section below. Who does he fight next? Also, the biggest question in my opinion, is Jaron Ennis ready for Terrence Crawford? Leave all that in the comment section below.
That's what I want. You know, I want the big names. You know, Terrence Crawford, anybody else in that weight that got a big name, let's get it. Let's make it happen.